As a thank you for Riley's excellent grades, firefighter Cooper is taking her to a concert in Philadelphia. They observe the performer Lady Raven get off her bus outside the arena with a group of teenage females. Cooper then realizes that there are several police nearby as they wait in line at the door. Once inside, he also observes that police are everywhere. As Riley joins a dancing group, Cooper records it and gets her some snacks in an attempt to be a good father. Riley is constantly being left out by the other girls at school, he finds out after he gets her to talk. Cooper observes additional security cameras and police as they move around. When they finally take a seat, Cooper notices that the police are also present and they get to hear the opening band. When the performance begins, Cooper needs to shield his ears from the screams. He informs Riley he's heading to the bathroom after a few songs. He really checks on a security camera with his phone while he's in the restroom, though. As it turns out, Cooper is a serial killer who is keeping an eye on Spencer, his most recent victim, who is imprisoned in Cooper's hidden home. After washing his hands, Cooper imagines his mother is there. Cooper exits the restroom as more police cars encircle the location, but Jody's mother blocks him. Riley will soon be included in activities, she assures her daughter, adding that teenagers can be strange at times. Cooper gets back to his seat in time to hear Raven discuss how she overcame her father's disappearance and moved on. The venue lights up as she plays the piano and urges her admirers to utilize the flashlight feature on their phones. Cooper saw the police removing a man from the throng at that same moment. Behind him, there are cops standing in line as well. Riley and Cooper go to buy a t-shirt during the intermission, but none are available in her size. Cooper takes advantage of the opportunity to inquire about the police as seller Jamie assures him there will be more. Although Jamie claims it's a secret, he divulges that the police searched for the butcher after learning that he was a serial killer who would be attending the event. Every person who departs is inspected, and all exits aside from the backstage area are under surveillance. Cooper chuckles nervously, for he is the butcher. After that, he pulls Riley around the arena while acting as though he's hungry, but in reality, he's examining the exits to make sure police are blocking them all. Cooper stealthily pushes the inebriated woman who is standing near the stairs to cause her to collapse. When Cooper tries to leave and the policemen at the entry rush to check on her, he finds more police there. Required to return to the concert with Riley, he follows Lady Raven when she announces a special guest and the ground opens for a platform to raise with another singer. Cooper looks at the open hatch and tells Riley it would be fun to go inside and see where it takes them, but Riley calls him out on his strange behavior and he has to stay not to be suspicious, so he looks at the hatch close in frustration. After that, Cooper returns to the t-shirt stand and finds Jamie heading to the supply room, so he follows along. Observing that Jamie needs a keycard to enter the room, Cooper pretends to assist Jamie in moving the boxes in order to steal. When the subject of the butcher comes up, Jamie acknowledges that he has been glued to the case. He even has some jumbled photos of the victims on his phone. Every employee received specific training for today, along with the password Hamilton, which they can use to identify themselves. Cooper uses Jamie's key card to enter the employee break room covertly after obtaining the t-shirt at last. While reviewing their files, the police decide that if they locate the butcher, they had to remove him from the vicinity of people. Cooper moves through the gathering to get to the snack table so he can hear them better, hanging Jamie's card on his jacket to give the impression that he is an employee. There's a photo of his most recent crime scene nearby. Cooper finds it easy to act cooperative and friendly when a police officer asks for sugar. Cooper takes a radio from a police backpack as he leaves. Jody's mother blocks Cooper in the hallway once more, and when he tries to ignore her, she becomes irate. The police officers come to listen in on their fight, but they are cut off when they hear a guy scream. The two officers dash to the entryway, where the man is being arrested by other police officers. Cooper recognizes Josephine among them this time as well. Resuming his seat, Cooper surreptitiously plugs in his earphones and tunes into the police radio, discovering they have already verified that the individual they had detained was not the correct one. All he was a thief who went into a panic believing that the police were looking out for him. Cooper hears the men's descriptions that the officers need to find when they go between the chairs to apprehend another man. One features a 30-something white man who perfectly captures the essence of the animal tattooed on his right arm. Luckily, he covers the tattoo by putting on a bracelet he discovers on a girl's luggage. Reminding Riley that he left his credit card at the t-shirt stand, he checks the venue's map on his phone before leaving once more. He obtains information about the FBI erecting barricades on the main streets and tents surrounding the building over the radio. Though he sees a security camera watching him, Cooper decides against setting off the fire alarm. Josephine's guess that he would attempt the alarm trick is also audible to him. Rather, by sneaking into the burger stand, he plays tricks on the fryer. After he leaves, a worker checks on the fries and discovers two bottles floating in the hot oil. The bottles explode, causing the clients to scream in fear and drawing the attention of the police. While everyone is preoccupied, Cooper steals an apron and puts it on as he heads to the roof. When the police arrive, he tells them he needed some air after the incident in the kitchen, and they confirm his story over the radio. Unsure of himself, the cops then ask for his card, but fortunately, Cooper discovers a wallet in the pocket of the apron and a venue card, so they can let him go. Before departing, he inquires about Josephine. The police clarify that she is a profiler who has already apprehended numerous serial killers. Upon his return downstairs, Cooper finds the severely burned worker standing next to his mother's hallucination. Cooper later meets Riley, who is concerned about Cooper's actions. Riley asks him to stop worrying about her classmates because she has made friends with the girls who are seated next to her after he informs her that Jody's mother cornered him. Riley tells them when they get back to their seats that this is when Raven chooses a girl from the audience to walk on stage and even get a behind-the-scenes look. Cooper takes advantage of the situation by going up to a crowd handler and telling him that Riley recently beat leukemia because Lady Raven inspired her. The police are drawing nearer to Cooper's location, but fortunately his scheme succeeds and Riley is selected to perform. Both of them receive backstage passes, and the handler negotiates with a police officer to gain them entry. Even though Riley is quite anxious, she answers Raven's call and goes in, while Cooper attempts to ignore the cops surrounding him in order to experience his daughter's happiness. Jody and her mother are enraged to see Riley on stage among the throng. Cooper discovers a girl collapsing after the song ends and lifts her up while asking the staff for a place to rest. Just before Josephine gets a chance to meet him, he's taken backstage. The ailing girl is given some drink by Cooper, who also encourages her to relax. They are allowed to observe the concert's conclusion next to the stage because the manager is very appreciative of his assistance. The manager responds in the affirmative when Cooper asks whether they can exit by the backstage door in order to avoid the end crowd. Listening to the police radio, Cooper learns that all male patrons will have their identities checked as they exit the venue after the event. He finds, though, that police have also barred the backstage door as he tries to escape with Riley. Cooper hears Josephine in an adjacent room telling Raven that all of the concert-goers' images and personal information would be captured on camera. Cooper visits Raven in a desperate attempt to get her to discuss Riley's health in secret. As they walk into her dressing room, Cooper shows her Spencer in the cell on his phone and confesses to being the butcher. He can leak carbon monoxide into the jail by pressing a button, which would kill Spencer before the police discover him. Cooper pledges to release Raven provided he cooperates. Raven then lets the police know that Cooper and Riley are going in the limousine with her, allowing them to flee without being apprehended. Due to the checks, the crowd is delayed at the main door, and Josephine is concerned about the lack of results. While on the ride, Cooper gives the driver the address of his home so that they can be dropped off there. However, on the way, Raven asks Riley if she can visit her home. Cooper can only smile and give her permission. A short while later, they are welcomed by Cooper's wife Rachel and their other child. Cooper warns Raven that he will kill Spencer if she tries anything. Over coffee and cake, Rachel inquires about the concert, and Raven informs her about the police operation to catch the butcher. The FBI found a receipt for a concert ticket in one of the butcher's fake houses, so they got in touch with Raven to arrange the arrangement. The butcher is a Caucasian male in his 30s or early 40s who holds a position of authority, drives a dark car because of potential OCD, and had a strained connection with his mother. These are the conclusions drawn from Josephine's long-term profiling of the man. Raven offers to play a song on the family piano, but Cooper becomes uneasy due to how true every phrase is, and he also notes that it is growing late. Riley is forced to sit next to her, and she takes advantage of the situation to take her phone. When the song ends, Raven suggests they snap a selfie, but Riley can't find her phone. Raven urges Riley to use Cooper's, and she grabs it from him. Raven requests to use the restroom after they take her photo, dashes inside with the phone, and shuts the door. Cooper begins banging on the door, and his family finds his actions strange. After the phone is unlocked, Raven speaks with Spencer and asks him about any memories he may have of the location. After Spencer makes comments on the color of the door and a neighboring statue, Raven launches a live stream on her phone. She provides her followers with all the information Spencer provided, waiting for someone to identify the location and call the police. In addition, Raven texts her driver, who is still outside, requesting that he also contact the police. The lock screen has been raised as she examines Cooper's phone once more. Subsequently, Raven cries out that Cooper is the butcher. She hears strange sounds and screams coming from the other side of the door, which opens abruptly to reveal a very tense Cooper. He checks on Spencer and takes his phone, however, he finds him gone. Later, Cooper leads Raven to the garage, where he takes his crime bag and shoves Raven into Rachel's car because Josephine was correct about the color of his vehicle. Raven tries to talk to Cooper like a mother would, but Cooper is unmoved. He declares he will kill Raven as his final crime before self-deletes to stop the monster. Cooper discovers his family obstructing his path when he unlocks the garage. Riley's room was the place where he had imprisoned them, but he had overlooked the window and the tree nearby. After his two lives finally merge, Cooper is in disbelief, and Raven takes advantage of the opportunity to flee the vehicle. As Cooper rushes to his closet to shift some items, the cops arrive and escort the family to safety. The regular driver of Raven's limousine is substituted by a police officer so that she can also be watched after. When the police stormed into the house, they found Cooper had made his way out through the neighbor's yard via a secret tunnel hidden in the closet. Shortly after, the limo pulls to a stop and the policeman approaches the rear seat to shackle Raven with a metal bar. As it happens, Cooper is the police officer who fled his residence while donning a uniform. Then, declaring that he had been itching to murder Raven since he saw her on stage, he continues driving while saying he will take her to one of his hidden residences. Raven opens the window and requests that people phone the police when the limo stops at a red light. The automobile is surrounded by people who are blocking its progress. Cooper discovers that his wife has left some clothes in the car as Raven struggles to free herself from her handcuffs and eventually tears the bar off. The crowd backs in fear as she dashes from the limo as the police pull up. The limo is destroyed by the officers firing, but when they go inside, they discover it is empty. Cooper has managed to get away by donning a hoodie and blending in with the throng. After that, Raven is brought to one of the crime scenes, where she visits with a rescued Spencer and thanks her fan for the assistance. Rachel drops the kids down at her sister's place and then heads back to her own. Rachel wants to be here, but Josephine believes that she should also be hiding. Josephine adjudicates some cops outside and then departs. While making some tea, Rachel views the security camera footage of Spencer's kidnapping. She is suddenly shocked by Cooper, who has entered covertly. Rachel has to acknowledge that Cooper believes his wife put him up. She had begun to believe Cooper was having an affair a few weeks prior, but she knew it was something else since his clothes smelled like hospital disinfectant. And it gave her the chills to hear him lie so convincingly to a neighbor in front of her. Following him to one of his other homes one day, Rachel left the ticket receipt there before phoning the police under false pretenses in the hopes that they would refute her. Owing to the stench, Cooper rips off his shirt and prepares to strike with a knife. Rachel asks him to finish the pie Riley cooked, explaining that today was meant to be a celebration in an attempt to divert him. Cooper agrees to eat after seeing Rachel take a bite. He describes how he generally feels at peace when he kills a victim, but because Rachel has enraged him, he wants to murder her before self-deleting. Cooper becomes lightheaded and discovers that Rachel has discovered the sedatives in his crime bag, which she had mixed into the pie. He hears his mother calling him a monster from outside the door as he gets to his feet. As Cooper sobs and attempts to get close to her, the police surround him and tase him. An enraged Cooper leaps at an officer to take him out, but Josephine joined him with another taser before he can use the other one, and together they manage to take him down. A handcuffed Cooper begs for a moment to retrieve Riley's fallen bicycle before the police return with the kids, and Riley gives her father a last embrace before he is taken away. Later, in the back of the police truck, Cooper admits he stole a spoke from the bicycle and now uses it to pick his handcuffs off while laughing. Jamie is later horrified to see Cooper's face on the news because he assisted a criminal. To ensure you never miss any updates on new videos, kindly click the bell icon, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.